Okay, dear Dhamma friends, we have come to the concluding session of this Kalalgoda English Medium Retreat. So it's a question and answer session. So I cordially invite to present with the written questions.
Thero Saranai, Most Venerable Bhante, there are altogether 5 questions today.
Yes.
2 on meditation and 3 on Dhamma.
Yes.
May I start with the meditation question?
Yes.
Venerable Bhante, after settling down into a comfortable sitting posture and start looking at the in-breath and out-breath, after some time I need to change the position. Is this all right?
Change the position.
Yes.
You may be referring kind of change in the posture. Is it correct? Or getting up and going to another place? Change in the position. Is it yours? Yeah. If you can come, yeah. Can you little explain what you meant?
Bhante, the position.
Position, yeah. In the sense?
Yeah. Just to move like...
Moved, yeah. Moving from one place to another place.
No, not the same. I sit on the chair.
Yeah.
The chair like to move like not to get up and go or not
yes.
to go to another place.
Yeah.
The position like if I am seated like this.
Oh, okay. So just a line of little adjustment. Yeah. Okay. For about how long after you are doing it? Say 30 minutes, after about 30 minutes? 30 minutes.
Like, yeah.
Okay. I think if you are doing it mindfully without much disturbing the already built up mindfulness, then not so harm. So, while if you are not just immediately doing it, then it might disturb the already built up concentration. But if not, if you are slowly, mindfully, if you are doing it, then it's not that harmful. It's like when you are sitting, you are just changing the one leg to another side or something like that. Yeah, you can go to the next question.
Venerable Bhante, when my
from the same yogi, no? Is it from
no,
you?
No, Bhante. This is from somebody else.
Someone else? Okay. It's okay.
When my mind shifts from the present moment due to tanha or maybe anger or some other chetana, does it yield kamma?
We can't immediately say just because of our shift to another object that we create kamma, but after shifting, how I react. Say for example, you are simply quietly sitting and say a kind of a sound happen. So your mind now go to that sound, and maybe suppose it's a kind of irritating sound, and now your mind go there. So if at that occasion, if you simply acknowledge it's just a sound and come back to your previous meditation object, then no kamma very much created. And if on the other hand, if your now attention shifted to that sound and you think who has created this sound and why not they are behaving well and blah blah blah, and sort of started off proliferating based on the anger, then possibility that you are creating kamma. But these are not yet coming to very much kind of very active form, because you haven't yet speak out, you haven't yet blamed someone or hit someone. That is only at the mental level now kind of happening. So as you know that the defilements have some 3 levels. So at the very latent level we call anusaya. So they are not making any kamma at all. But once they come out as into the obsessive level, so our minds are thinking, internally burning happens. So it can prepare kamma because the mentally we are defiled. On the other hand, through the verbs and the deeds, now if we are transgressing, hitting another person, blaming another person, then we are going to the transgression level, then possibility is high. I can't exactly remember how this that Buddha is explaining kamma and kamma patha, where so when a particular action become that kind of behavioral, kind of bodily and verbal action, then it has the potential to give another birth, a future birth. But there, on the other hand, some internally, if you are having some kind of a burning sort of obsession, angry thoughts and all these things, it may not lead to, I can't exactly remember, it may not lead directly to the future birth, but it still carries some amount of karma. So I need to refer books to give you a complete picture of the karma, because it's a fairly deeper subjects. So I am just telling you with this memory. Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, could you please clarify the difference between Satya and Ayoniso Manasikara?
Satya and Ayoniso Manasikara are quite different then. Satya and Ayoniso Manasikara are two different things. If you are trying to relate Satya and Yoniso Manasikara, then maybe we can come up with a relationship, because Ayoniso Manasikara means you are thinking through wrong way of looking at things. So Yoniso Manasikara means that you are going to the source, going to the origin of the problem, going to the origin or source of the problem and looking at things properly, rather than looking at the things at surface level. Say for example, say when you are thinking your parents, children, husband, wife and all these things, you can at the surface level you can think, okay, I have some greed, I have some craving towards various things. In the conventional level it is true. So you may have your greed or craving towards your children, your say parents, your working place, your house and all these things is true, conventional level. But if you come little deeper, if you go to the source, so it is not that those external things are really making the issue, but rather the issue is internally. You have certain tendencies, you have the seeds, the potential of generating such a craving. So you have kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. Those are the roots, those are the causes. So now rather than you telling that I have a greed, I have attachment, I have craving to my husband, wife, children, parents, blah blah blah, now you are telling, you are coming back your attention back to yourself and seeing that I have greed, I have lobha, dosa, moha. Like that you are coming back to yourself and finding out the roots, causes internally. So it is in type of Yoniso Manasikara. So similarly, mindfulness also, we are developing it internally. We may be using external objects to develop mindfulness, but the qualities are developing inside. It's a potential, it's a quality, positive quality in the mind, and it is developing inside. Internal qualities, mental qualities. And the Yoniso Manasikara even go further, like, Buddha is talking it that into the, say, if even into the Paticcasamuppada, you can say a proper way of presenting it in the Yoniso Manasikara, because finding out the very root causes. So there are even proper different actions, say good actions, bad actions, and why these, what are the causes? Yeah. So what are the causes for the good actions? What are the causes for bad actions? So actions are the ways that these causes manifest. When you are looking at the causes, then it is through the Yoniso Manasikara. So Sati and Yoniso Manasikara may have a direct relationship, but I can't immediately refer a particular sutta where Buddha is giving up kind of a good relationship between mindfulness and Yoniso Manasikara. But there may be such suttas as well. I need to refer and see. I can't take anything from my memory. Yeah. Wise attention. Yes. Yoniso Manasikara is referred in English, translated that as wise attention. Yeah. And I'm thinking whether there is a particular sutta talking of Yoniso Manasikara and mindfulness together, showing kind of a beautiful relationship. There may be, but I need to check it and see. Yes.
Most Venerable Bhante, when does the Chutisita form and when does the Pratisandhisita form? When does the Chutisita form and when does the Pratisandhisita form?
So these concepts actually, to be honest, this Pratisandhi Chitta is a kind of a later introduction to the Dhamma. But in the Sutta Pitaka you won't find kind of something called Pratisandhi Vijnana. Such concept is not there. But later they have anyway kind of for the explanations, this Pratisandhi Vijnana, rebirth, linking consciousness, they have introduced, like, it's not, we can't say the introduced, but the new terminology has come into the Dhamma. But how Buddha explains rebirth, if you refer, even yesterday we discussed that Mahanidana Sutta, where Buddha is talking about the relationship between the consciousness and the name and form, Vijnana and Namarupa, that interrelationship. So that is getting the very root cause of the whole ongoing of samsara. Because till one has manifestation of Namarupa with relate to, by associating a Vijnana, so it's a kind of an ongoing process is there. So it is referred as a kind of a whirlpool. So when there is a whirlpool, you can say, suppose for example, in a river or in the sea, suppose there's a whirlpool, then there's a kind of a turbulence, there's a kind of currents happening, and attraction of various things are happening. There's a attracting power there. So all these things are there, and so one can indicate, okay, there is a whirlpool. Similarly, in our mind also, when this whirlpool, when this Vijnana Namarupa are interrelated, interconnected and interdependent, and that behavior is there, so mind is in a kind of a turbulence, kind of a whirlpool. That is what Buddha referred as Vatta in the Mahanidana Sutta. So till that is there, the ongoing is happening. That means from one life to the other, this ongoing process happens. Similarly, Buddha says in the Cetana Sutta, coming in the Nidana Samyutta, where when the mind has, so ye cheva bhikkave ceteti, yancha pakappeti, yancha anuseti, arammana metang hoti viññānassa titiya. Arammane sati patittha viññānassa hoti. So, whenever we have some volition, whenever we have some proliferation, or if at least we have some latent tendencies, then there is a possibility of establishment of consciousness. When there is establishment of consciousness, depending on that, the future birth is determined. If you refer, there are 3 suttas coming in the Nidana Samyutta, Cetana Sutta, second Cetana Sutta, third Cetana Sutta. You can go and refer. There are 3 suttas talking about this. So, say for example, when you are volitionally seeing something, so due to this volitional seeing, volitional looking at things, so there's this consciousness will get established. When you are volitionally hearing, consciousness get established. When you are volitionally smelling, consciousness get established. When you are volitionally tasting, consciousness get established. When you are volitionally touching, experiencing, consciousness get established. When you are, and the pakappeti means when you are volitionally thinking, not maybe even volitionally, but thinking is going on, some proliferation going on. still the consciousness get established. And Buddha says, even if you are managed to stop these two, no cheva bhikkhave cheteti, no cha pakappeti. Still, if anusaya is there, if the latent tendencies are there, still Buddha says, possibility of rebirth is there. That's why, even, for example, the little children, their minds are not that defiled like ours. Because they are like flowers and they are just very beautiful. But still, if they die, will they not reborn? They will also reborn. So that's why, even though their minds are very clean, still the anusaya is there. Latent tendencies are there. So that's why that is the root cause. Till we answer that question, we can't stop rebirth. So that is the very beautiful revelation, beautiful finding of the Buddha, how to access that hidden tendencies, how to address this inner traits in one's mind. So that till we uproot that, rebirth will continue. And again, Buddha defines rebirth only when the grasping is available. So, for example, in the Arahant's mind, we discussed yesterday. So, in the Arahant's mind, there is no this kind of a grasping. Still, he may looking at things, he may hear things, he may tasting things. Even the thoughts may be coming and available in the background. Things are operating, but there is no grasping. And Buddha says, only when grasping is present, then only the future birth is possible. So if one is able to avoid grasping, clinging, then no more rebirth. So I find this explanation is much beautiful than trying to, analytically find out, okay, how many mind moments are there, then how the chuti chitta, and then how the jumping happened, the pratisandhi chitta, and all these things. It's very analytical. But this kind of explanation gives us some beautiful Dhamma. So how all these things help us interrelate with the defilements, how the tanha and the upadana, how they are working. So this actually, I found myself more connected with Dhamma than kind of theoretically or analytically coming up with a solution. Yeah. Yes, sure, yeah. No, sankharas are the active version of the latent tendencies. So the latent tendencies are like the sleeping state. Once they manifest, once they activated, so they manifest as sankhara. So sankhara is the active state. So till the latent tendency state is there, till they are latent, till they are hidden, till they are sleeping, so we can't even know them. They are hidden. But due to certain causes, they come to the active state. And then they manifest. Then the formations, we do various fabrications, modifications, preparations in the mind. Say for example, you are doing metta meditation and you are having a very cool mind, nothing to worry. All of a sudden, enemy comes. So you forget about your metta, immediately anger arises. You already had some loving kindness environment, but unfortunately, immediately anger arises. So how this happen? So the latent tendency is there. So that is the patiga anusaya, patigaha anusaya, the latent tendency of the ill will. So it is there. So when the causes are available, if that latent tendency is there, then possibility is there, the mind get angry, mind get agitated, mind get frustrated. So it now come into the obsessive level, pariyutthana in Pali. Obsessive level is the pariyutthana. Now you feel angry. So at that time the sankharas are there, because now suppose sankhara here means now you saw the enemy, So we couldn't stop at that seeing level. If we could stop at seeing level, then we are not making this obsessive sankhara. But this sight happened, and the anusaya coming to the surface, and we did the preparation, we did the fabrication. We are now thinking, okay, he did this, he did that, he blamed me, he hit me, all things, and now thinking, now going to a story, now angry. And again, suppose I am blaming now transgression. So things are happening quickly, by the way, but this is the Buddha's explanation how step by step it is growing. Yeah.
Bhante, now, as you said, now these latent tendencies can suddenly come up when you, despite your inner, you have metta in your mind, suddenly it comes up when you see an enemy. Now, at that point, to not react, would it be yoniso manasikara or sati that would help you?
Well, definitely both go hand in hand.
Right.
Because Yoniso Manasikara here you may be referring more into the wisdom side.
Right.
So the Sampajanya. The mindfulness is there just to show you, okay, you are having some kind of a state of the mind. Now kind of immediate agitation, immediate reaction happening. So the mindfulness helps you to show you, okay, there is now anger available. But mindfulness is not capable of giving you a complete solution.
Correct.
So the solution, the how you are behaving, how you are handling it, not without reaction, how you are handling that difficult situation based on the wisdom. So yani sotani lokasming sati tesang nivaranang sotanang sangvarang brumi panyayete pithiyare. So there's a beautiful verse coming in Sutta Nipasa. Yani sotani lokasming sati tesang nivaranang. So as far as many as this defiled streams of thoughts are available, sati tesang nivaranam. For them, the mindfulness is like a dam. Now say the water, the streams are coming of various defiled states. The kind of a simile Buddha is explaining. So different, when the rivers flowing water is there, if you want to stop it, you are building up a dam, for example. Then they stop. Similarly, when the various defiled states of mind is now flowing, mindfulness give a dam. Mindfulness immediately kind of a blocking. Sotanam sangvaram brumi. It's a kind of a restraint to this onflow of the defiled states. Restrainment. Satite sannivaram sotanam sangvaram brumi panyayete pitiyare. If you are to completely dry them out, these streams, wisdom is the solution. So we have to, ultimately, mindfulness and wisdom has to go hand in hand. Mindfulness will show it, and wisdom will cut it off. So, in the teaching also, Buddha says, Ariyena sati sampajanyena samannagato. So when he is explaining the sort of the developed training, he is telling the disciple is with sati sampajanyena. Mindfulness and the clear comprehension, the wisdom, are hand in hand going together. Yeah. Yes.
Venerable Bhante, referring to your yesterday Dhamma sermon, for consciousness to establish, one needs to have greed or craving. Even the first stream winner, so one person can have likes. Example, Visakha Upasika. She was happy when Buddha asked whether she would like to have all the children of Savat Nuwara to be her grandchildren. But then she soon realized the dukkha arises from the attachment and likes. Hence, as lay people living in the society, there are times we have to express are likes and dislikes, not craving. Please explain us how we overcome this situation. Much merit to you, Bhante.
Yeah, actually, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami still has Ruparaga, Aruparaga. Yeah, still has craving. The Arahant only will uproot the 5 upper fetters. There are 10 fetters, Buddha explained. Among them, the Sakkaya Ditti, Vichikicca, Silabbata Paramasa. Sakkaya Ditti, the self view, the personality view, doubt, and the attachment towards the rituals and these things. So these are the 3 fetters uprooted by a Sotapanna. Then the Sakadagami will only subside anger, the patiga and the greed, Kamaraga and patiga. Kamaraga refers to the 5 chords of this, the attachment in the sensual world. Sensual world, the Kamaraga. Patiga is the ill will. So that only is subsided by the Sakadagami and will be uprooted by Anagami. But still 5 upper fetters are there with even Anagami. Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddacha, Avijja. So 5 are available even with Anagami. So that indicates, so we can't say that even in an Anagami that the completely his consciousness will not manifest, will not establish. It may establish. So it is definitely obvious that Vishaka got cry and all these things because she is just a Sotapanna. Only 3 fetters were uprooted. But only an Arahant has the capacity to be completely free from all the fetters, because all the fetters are uprooted in him and he is free from greed, hatred, delusion. Because Buddha defines in the final sense what is Nibbana, Ragakhayo, Dosakhayo, Mohakhayo. Complete eradication of Raga, the lust, complete eradication of Dosa, the ill will, hatred, and complete eradication of the delusion. So this complete eradication, complete uproot only happens at the Arahant level. But at the latter levels, to some extent. So the question is related to the Visakha. So Visakha definitely has the upper fetters, and actually 7 fetters already with her. So there's a possibility of getting sort of emotional and all sorts of things. But the difference between a worldling and a Aryan is that when Buddha is showing it, when someone is explaining it, she will not stay in that deluded state for long. So she may not be in that delusion forever. Even though instantly, due to the typical habitual tendency, she may cry or laugh or whatever thing, grasping happen, but after a while she will come back, establish mindfulness, come back to the wisdom. So that is there. So what's the second part of the question? I can't remember.
Hence, as lay people living in the society, there are times we have to express our likes and dislikes, not craving. Please explain us how we overcome this situation.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we have to express ourselves, and this practice does not mean some kind of indifference. In the terms, in the Buddhist terms, we can call this an ajñānupekkhā, kind of indifference that we are taking kind of a stand, thinking, okay, whatever happens, I don't bother. So that is called ajñānupekkhā. So I mean, say for example, there is some place that you need to help another person. So someone, say you are walking on the road, someone is fallen. And if you are telling, okay, I don't bother, I am just walking. left, right. So that is ajnanupekha. So that is not what we mean here. So there, if you are capable, if you have the capacity to help, you need to help. So indifference, ajnanupekha is not something expected, not something valuable. Rather here, rather in the practice, what it is, kind of encouragement is how we avoid internal turmoil, kind of agitation. When things are happening, how we stop, how we react. Like we discussed yesterday, so when a particular incident happens, so emotionally we get agitated, we get jumped, we get tears, we get laugh. So such things are there. Even it happens, then how we again apply brake and come back, step back and see the situation. So it is true that our minds may jump to the pleasure and the pain, to the itta and anitta, the pleasurable and the from the happy to the unhappy. But how we sort of applying the brake and coming back to the kind of equanimity like thing. So this is in a way kind of a training, and so it does not mean that we have to be completely inactive. So if we are telling, okay, we have to be completely inactive, not doing anything, and whatever we do has to be responsible, because of that we have to suffer and all those things, so we have to be just inactive. So I don't think it is a proper approach. So we need to understand, okay, we have limitations. Okay, if someone is asking million rupees from you, I mean, if you don't have, you need to understand, no, I don't have that much of money. Even though I am generous, I can't afford to do that. So you have your own limitations. On the other hand, if there are many people available and you are walking and others are already helping, and if not necessary to put your hand, then you can mind your own business. So if they are inviting only, you are putting your hand. Unnecessarily you are not jumping to the situation and taking the upper hand and trying to be the boss or something like that. So that we need to understand how we are approaching, how we are getting to the scene, and why we are getting to the scene. Am I expecting some fame, gain through participation? Or is it just a kind of a humanly participation, humanly generosity? Or am I doing this to build up ego? So it's everything up to us. So we may be helping another person, and there may be ulterior motive, okay, through this helping, through this generosity. So he may, okay, at a later time give me something else, do some favor or something like that. So then it's kind of internally you are not really genuine. But on the other hand, at that time there is no one else there, you are the only one to help. You go wholeheartedly and just help without expecting anything else, not creating any sort of conceit about it. And later, even at coming back home, you don't need to even proliferate about it. So what happens typically is, so even when you do a good thing, after you coming back home, you think about it. Think about it and creating a self out of it. So typically, for the good people, these good deeds are helping to create ego. So now, because you are a good people now, so you are a good people, so of course you are not doing killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, not lying, not taking intoxicants, but still doing good things. And after coming back home, you are thinking about them. Oh, I did a really good thing. If I was not there, so they will be in a big trouble. So fortunately I was there. So likewise, you are admiring your activity, you are admiring yourself, your deed, and you may then call another person, and you know that I was there, fortunately, I helped him. So when you are doing like that, you are unknowingly even creating a person, creating a self. So that is where we are going to the proliferation. That is where we are going to the sankhara, volitional formations. So that is where Buddha says, whenever thoughts are coming, if you can stop at that level, not going to proliferation, that is where the prapancha is the real, in a way, real culprit, in a way. Because even the good deeds, even the good tasks, the verbal things or whatever things, if we are using it to create a person, show off, making a personality, going for a reputation, earning a reputation, something like that, so still we are having a personality. Personality in the sense the person, ego is there. So if we simply, you may get it, definitely you may get it, but we need to understand, okay, now this is another way of attacking coming through the Mara. Now this, whatever the good deed, so how I can manage that? Rather than being victimized to it, so I need to understand, okay, now this, whatever the good deed I didn't, it is done. It's already done. Now no point of thinking about it. No point of preparing or creating a self out of that. And you restrain yourself. So this actually is a training. So we need to stop that thinking patterns going on and on based on our good deeds. Otherwise, the good deeds itself help us to create the samsara. But on the other hand, in the typical sense, in the kusala, we are telling little differently. Say when we are, suppose in the typical kusala, in the wholesome deeds, we are advising the people, okay, once you do a wholesome activity, think about it again and again. Rejoice about it. So what will happen by the way? So you are doubling the, the wholesome deeds and all. You are now accumulating more merit. Merit's helpful. but generating karma. So that's why Buddha says the Samma Ditti has two types. Samma Ditti has two types. Sasava Punya Bhagya Upadivepakha. One type is there, Sasava, it is with the taints. It is with the latent tendencies, Sasava, Punya Bhagya. And they create merit. Upadivepakka. And the results are giving some good assets. Good assets. Say for example, if you are doing something beautiful, something wholesome, and you are thinking about it, and more think about it, you being happy, and you accumulate merit. Sasava Punya Bhagya, it is preparing merit. Upadivepakka, on the next birth, you may be, of course, will be benefited from that. You may get a proper future birth, and you need the resources and whatever the things are with you when it is needed. That is also necessary. That is one aspect of the Sammaditthi. And another part is there, Lokuttara Magganga. Sasava Punya Bhagya Upadivepakka. There's another side of Sammaditthi. Anasava Lokuttara Magganga. So it does not create such kind of a trait. It is beyond the typical worldly attitude. And it is penetrating the typical sansaric nature. And it is what you call supramundane. Sammaditthi. Sammaditthi has all these two sides. Two sides are there. So the what we basically first we need is what I have explained first. Sasava Punyabhagya Upadivepakka, that is the first typical way of understanding, and that is the must to have also. That sometimes we call it as Kammassa Kata Sammaditthi, where we believe in the Kamma, we believe in the result of the wholesome kamma, results of the unwholesome kamma. Accordingly, we do only the wholesome kamma, trying to be less doing the unwholesome kamma. So that's necessary. Once you establish there, we need to come to the other side. How we develop, without much going to that, how we develop the not doing, complete transcendence of the kamma. How to avoid generating kamma, even the good and the bad. So, if we are accumulating good, doesn't matter, but with that nothing, no need to create a self. So, not going for proliferation, and just doing is done. So, that is how I think we need to approach. So, that is where so it is not that the Buddha has enough capacity to do merit. So, that's a beautiful sutta called Padhana Sutta. Comes in Sutta Nipata, Padhana Sutta. So, the Buddha to be, Bodhisattva, was striving hard to become the Buddha. So Mara approached him and tell, why are you suffering so much? And you just go back and you have enough merit and you do meritorious deeds and just keep going. Why are you suffering like this? Then Buddha says, I have enough merit too, but I want to cut through now. I want to stop this now. So it's a complete, going away out of the samsara. That is his goal. Not just going on and on by doing good deeds also you can go on and on. So he is not appreciating that. Even though he has the full potential, he wants to now transcend, penetrate, cut through. And he is defeating the Mara and says, no, I want to find a final solution to stop this rebirth. So that is the kind of a higher training. If you want to stop this ongoing cycle. Yeah. Come forward, please. Yeah, Anathan Futtak, you can pass the mic, please. You can sit here. Yes.
Now, what do you mean by Chaganusati then? That you think of, you meditate on what you have done or given?
Yes. So there are several, actually 10 types of Anusati Bhavana. Buddha Anusati, Dhamma Anusati, Sangha Anusati, Chaga Anusati, Upasapa Anusati, Devata Anusati. So likewise, there are 10 types available. They are all reflections, as you said. So of course, as you said, all the generous activities you did, you are reflecting. So that is helpful. Definitely those are helpful. Those are actually Samatha meditation. Samatha meditation, those are helpful and it creates positive attitude in yourself. And it is all coming under this Sammaditthi, the worldly side. So Sammaditthi, in the easy way of terminology, I can say, Sammaditthi has worldly side and the supramundane side. The worldly side, this is there. All these variety of meditations, metta, say Buddha Anusati, Dhamma Anusati, Sangha Anusati, Chaga Anusati, all these things really helps to prepare a very positive attitude, positive mindset and generate merit and very high merit. That's there. But to penetrate, just to understand the mechanism of the mind, to uproot the defilements, to cut through, then it's a supramundane, going in a different direction. Like there, even the wholesome and unwholesome both have ultimately, once you come to, say, for example, the Chittanupassana level in the Satipatthana, you are not even encouraging the loving kindness thought. Say when someone is telling, say, typically we encourage loving kindness, but when it is in the Chittanupassana, how Buddha is telling, Vita dosang chittanti pajanati. That's all. Vita dosa means loving kindness. So there's a kind of a loving kindness thoughts right now arising. And the meditator knows it's just a loving kindness thought. He just penetrates it, and it is not mine. It is just a conditional thing, conditional phenomena. It has arisen due to causes, and he is not encouraging it, he is just letting it go. And his mind come back to equanimity. So this is in a entirely different path. So Buddha is taking us to the penetration level. So it is not, Buddha's final goal is not for us to think about all the wholesome thoughts. Even the wholesome thought is a causal. Even wholesome thought has arisen due to causes. And you see how they are arising, how they are passing away. And it's just a thought only, even though it is wholesome. And either it is saraga chitta or vitaraga chitta. That means even a lustful thought or even a generous thought. Sadosa chitta or vitadosa chitta. Even ill will or loving kindness. All are having the same value at that level. Just merely thoughts. So mind is coming to very much into the equanimity. Non-attachment, non-grasping, and it is simply equanimity, and basically empty. Mind is kept empty, kind of free from any of these thoughts. So that is the kind of going to the very much to the goal. That is where even yesterday I tried to explain. So the mind going to be free. Till you have thoughts circulating in the mind is not free. Mind is under the influence of something. Either it may be so wholesome or unwholesome. It is still under the influence. But if you are able to penetrate these thoughts, if you are able to see how they are arising and passing away, so you even forget about whether it is wholesome or unwholesome. You understand they are due to causes, this has now arisen. Due to these causes, this is now arising. You are not bothered about it. You find detached from them. Rather, you like to keep the mind free. So if we are able to keep this mind completely free, Buddha says that is very much the complete kind of, in a different level of wholesomeness you are developing. So it is not unwholesome either, but it's a different level of wholesome. We sometimes call it adhikusala. Not the kusala, adhikusala. It has the capacity to penetrate. It has the capacity to release you from samsara, because you are now not accumulating merit, you are now not accumulating demerit, but rather you trying to transcend, trying to penetrate, trying to see what is really going on, rather than coming under the influence of any of these states. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sukhi hotu. Sukhi hotu, nibbana paccayo hotu. Any question? Yeah.
Not a question, Bhante.
Yeah.
This is regarding the Dhamma sermons yesterday and day before.
Yes.
I understood it, but I would like to read more about those things. So I just remembered the Sammaditthi Sutra and Aharavare.
Sorry, Sammaditthi Sutta?
Sutra, there are 10 Vare. I have the Sinhalese book.
Aharavare, yes.
So is it really, if I read that book, is it related to the Dhamma sermon?
Yesterday's one?
Yeah.
In the Sammaditthi Sutta also Buddha actually Venerable Sariputta explains 4 types of nutriments, but maybe very briefly. But I have taken several other suttas to explain the consciousness nutriment, Vijnana Ahara, and I have taken Atthiraga Sutta, which comes in I think it's the Nidana Sangyutta.
Any other book that you could recommend?
So, and there's several suttas related to the nutriments. In the Nidana Sangyutta, this Attiraga Sutta, then there's another sutta called Putta Mansupama Sutta. So, Putta Mansupama Sutta is the one talking about the sun's flesh. And again, it is giving beautiful similes about all these four nutriments. From there, I have taken the simile of that 300 spear attacks. So, that is there in the Putta Mansupama Sutta. Other than that, that relationship between the Namarupa and the consciousness, it is mentioned in the Mahanidana Sutta, comes in the Diga Nikaya. So those are little related. I mean, here and there Buddha has explained, but talking more about the consciousness. Yeah. Yeah, it seems, yeah. You have any question? Okay.
No, but
yeah, so I think like we can then conclude the Dhamma discussion. So I thank you very much for participation. So all these 3 days, so we were able to accumulate a lot of merits. So all of you observed higher sila, and again practice to the best of your ability, and listen to Dhamma sermons, participated to Dhamma discussions, and again participated in the dana. So this way we all were able to accumulate a lot of merits. So we will share these merits with all the past relatives, and again we will share these merits with all the celestial beings. Again we will share these merits with all the beings who are in need of merits. Again we will wish that these merits will help us also to attain path, fruition, nibbana. While keeping these good wishes in our mind, let's recite the traditional verses. Ettavataca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavataca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavataca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkhantu sasanang. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkhantu desanang. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkhantu mamparang. Idang vo nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang vo nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang vo nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So in order to observe 8 precepts, rather Ajivattamaka Sila, may you recite Namo Tassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Saranagamanang sampunnang. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinnādāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kāmesu miccācārā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Pisunā vācā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Parusā vācā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sampappalāpā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Micchā ājīvā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Tisaranena saddhiṃ ājīva attamaka sīlaṃ dhammang sādukhaṃ surakkhitāṃ katvā appamādena sampādē tabbang. හොඳයි සුඛී හෝතු. සාදු සාදු අනුමෝදාමි. සාදු අනුමෝදිතබ්බං. කමාමි කමිතබ්බං. කමාමි කමිතබ්බං. සුඛී හෝතු නිබ්බාන පච්චයෝ හෝතු. සුඛී හෝතු නිබ්බාන පච්චයෝ හෝතු. සුඛී හෝතු නිබ්බාන පච්චයෝ හෝතු. අභිවාදන සීලිස්ස නිච්ඡං වද්ධා පචායිනෝ චත්තාරෝ ධම්මා වඩ්ඩන්ති ආයුවන්නෝ සුඛම් බලං ආයුරාරෝග්‍ය සම්පatti සග්ග සම්පatti මේවච අතෝ නිබ්බාන සම්පatti ඉමිනාතේ සමිජ්ජතු.